What's up YouTube, this is the Keyboard Warrior here and we are back with another Tekken 8 tier list. This one would be based off patch 1.05, which we all know is definitely one of the best patches so far. And this patch really managed to balance the game to some extent, and Bandai did such a good job that it's really difficult to understand which characters are actually bottom tier at the moment. Like I always say, tier list is something that not everyone agrees on. It's okay to have your opinion as long as you're being respectful. So go ahead and feel free to comment below. Just don't be toxic, okay? And there's another thing that I always say, and that is skill beats tier list any day. So if a player who is skilled enough uses one of the weaker characters, he would still be able to do well with him. And if you're new to the game, you're still struggling with your defense, even if you use an S tier character, things will be very difficult for you. So basically there's no shortcut to Tekken, and you should never depend completely on tier list, because tier list does not include your skill level, okay? So if someone is really good with a bottom tier character, like for example we saw Rangchu doing so well with the bears, but we all know that the bears are nowhere near top tier, but still Rangchu does so well with these characters in tournaments. You need to give credit to Rangchu over here because he's such a skilled player, right? He's not really getting carried by the bears. It's him using the character well enough, alright? So yeah, without further ado, let's get started with the tier list. I'll try to keep the explanations as short as possible. Right, so first up we have Jack, and I would put him in the average tier. And to me, Jack is still not convincingly strong enough. I think they might have to buff him just a little bit. He's arguably bottom 10 at the moment. Next we have is Jin, and he easily makes it to the S tier, which is the best in the game. And it's mainly because how well this character is performing, right? Everyone in the tournament, I mean like 50% of the people are using this character, and they wouldn't be using it if he's not good enough, right? He is super strong. He's great at neutral. He has an answer to everything in this game. So Jin is super strong, S tier. His mom, however, she's still strong, but I don't think she is S tier anymore. Obviously, after the nerfs, she's no longer S tier. Definitely strong enough. Kazuya, on the other hand, received a lot of buffs, and I think I might just put him in the A tier for now. Yeah, he's super strong, let me tell you that. Alright, so we have King, and we all know where he's gonna go. Most annoying character in the game at the moment, especially online where you have frame delay. It becomes literally impossible to break grabs when you have like 3 or 4 frames delay. We all know how annoying throws are in this game, right? Throws are really strong in Tekken 8 compared to Tekken 7. And this dude being a grappler, you know, he does it every time. We see pro players getting thrown. I know a lot of people would love to come here and comment, hey, you need to learn your throw breaks. Dude, even the pro players, Arslan Ash, Knee, JDCR, they're getting thrown, alright? So it's not always possible to break every single throw, right? So yeah, alright, then we have Lars, and I'll put him in the average tier list for now. Yep, Lars is a very strong character, and he might overwhelm you with his pressure, especially if you don't know the matchup. But if you actually lab him, or if you practice with a Lars player, you would know when to poke him. Some of his transitions are pokeable, you know? So yeah, he's good enough, but he's definitely not as strong as characters in the tier above. And then we have Law is super strong. I'm gonna put him in the super strong tier, even though the character lacks a little bit at neutral. But overall, this character is so strong. Great mix-ups, great damage. DSS being made easier really made this character super strong. Alright, next we have Paul. Received a lot of buffs, and probably from bottom 5, I would put him in the average tier for now. Paul is okay. He's strong. You know, he got his while standing 1-2 loops and everything, but then they can be poked, and it's still lacking just a little bit. It's just the thing with Paul is that he's too honest at high levels. All right, he's way too honest, way too straightforward, way too honest. There's nothing cheap about this guy at high levels. Nina, again, S tier character, perhaps currently maybe the best character in the game at the moment. Right, so we all know what she can do. Her pressure game is out of this world. One of the strongest characters in the game at the moment. Shy Yu, again, I would still keep her in the S tier, and it's because of her BS stance move that goes on the mids. Overall, she has quite the mix-ups. She has a throw launcher. She's a very, very strong character. You know, these are characters you must lab, or else you'll have no clue what to do in the game. Next up, we have Asuka, and I feel she's still bottom tier. Even though she got buffed, but it's still not convincing enough to place her in the tiers above. I think the other characters are just a little bit better. Leroy, even after the buffs, I don't think this character is still performing well enough. People thought that Leroy might make it to the S tier or maybe the A tier, but I don't think he is doing well enough for that. Or maybe we just need to see more of him. Lily is an extremely strong character, and I would put her in the high A tier. She is super strong, great at neutral. She has tremendous mix-up capabilities and overall super strong character. Warang, after his nerfs, average tier, maybe bottom 10 even. Like, this character didn't need a nerf, actually. He was balanced enough. I know some of you guys might have problems with down 3-4, but that string is absolutely nothing at high levels. People predict, people can go around it. His sidesteppable, very linear character. I don't think he needed enough. Yeah, the patch didn't do justice to him. Next up, we have Claudio, and Claudio is absolutely strong, and I would put him in the super strong tier. Again, great character at neutral. His back one is super strong. His Superman punch with the knee mix-up, very strong. Azucena, I would put her in the average tier. She is not too strong at the moment, but still, she's decent. Not bottom tier, but she's average at the moment. Yeah, after all her nerfs. Then we have Raven. Raven is good enough, but still not convincing enough to be placed in the super strong tier or the A tier. So average at best. Next up, Dragunov, again, another S tier character. Even though he's nerfed, he's still pretty strong. We all saw how Nobi did at Rematch Dallas. If someone is telling you that this guy is mid tier or something like that, he's lying to you. Or maybe he doesn't know. Dragunov is still S tier, okay? Then we have Kuma, and Kuma, I believe, is average. Yeah, average tier at best. It's better than Panda, but I think he's average. Just because Ranchu is doing well with this character doesn't mean that this character is top tier. Alright, next one we have Leo. Leo, I feel, is very strong at neutral. A bit too linear, that's the only problem with this character. Other than that, Leo is a solid character, right? Then we have Shaheen. Shaheen is very strong, arguably top 10 at the moment. We all saw how AK performed with the guy. Sometimes we just need to give credit to the user, right? And AK is absolutely in top form at the moment. Alright, next we have Steve. Steve, again, not convincing enough. Probably bottom 5 maybe at the moment. He did receive buffs, but I don't think I'll put him in the mid tier. Maybe bottom 5. Next we have Yoshi, pretty strong character, and I will put Yoshi in the top 10. Yeah, top 10 character easily. Very, very strong character. He has a pretty long move list, very overwhelming for users to use him to his full potential. But if you master this character is super duper good. Alright. Then we have Fang, even though he's nerfed, still one of the best characters in the game. No doubt about it. I don't think Fang is average, or I don't even feel that he's A tier. He's still one of the best characters in the game, right? Even after his nerfs, he's still one of the best characters. Panda, perhaps again bottom five. She's not as good as Kuma, but yeah, bottom five. Yeah. Elisa is very strong and would perhaps be the new S tier at the moment. She is a very common tournament character. Um, I mean, like, she's so strong and neutral, and all those monkey stuff that she does makes her super duper strong. I mean, she doesn't give me the Tekken vibes, but definitely one of the strongest characters in the game. Devil Jin, again, bottom 5, nerfed to the ground. They didn't have to nerf him so badly. I feel they overdid him. I think he might receive a slight buff in the next patch, but at the moment he's too weak. Lee is extremely difficult to play and is definitely one of the strongest characters, and I would put him in the super strong tier. Unlike the other characters, Lee lacks a little bit in the pressure game. Is very dependent on counter hits and frame traps. But if you could master this character, he is super, super strong, okay? Zafina would make it to the average tier list. I don't think she's bottom tier anymore. The buffs worked out really well for her, and she is promoted up a tier. Then we have Victor, and I think Victor is no longer that strong. Yeah, Victor is average at the moment. From super strong, now he's average because they nerfed his while running too, and that's basically all that the Victor players did. I think nothing personal against you guys, but that's basically what you guys did. Brian is very strong, but I think he'll still be average tier. Maybe because of the execution required to master this character. He's a very, very tough character to play. You need to be super skilled. You know? So, average tier. And also, I feel he's not as strong as these characters at the moment. Then we have Rena, and she would probably make it to the S tier. Nah, I think she's super strong. I don't think she's S tier strong anymore. Because, I doubt. I think she would go S tier. Yeah, I think she would go S tier. It's just lacking a little bit with her low game. I think her pressure is enough to carry her to the S tier. Even though she's pokeable, but sometimes you just miss your chance, you know? So yeah, I think she's S tier at the moment. Barely. And then we have Eddie, and again, I think Eddie is bottom 5. Alright, don't get me wrong, right? Bandai did a very clever job putting a must-lab character as DLC. So in order to lab him, you would have to buy him. I know it's a very bold business move, but to be honest, Eddie is not even that good, right? You must have seen Jean Dane going crazy with Eddie, but that's the user, right? Eddie on paper is very weak. He's pokeable, he's sidesteppable, and on paper, Eddie is super weak, alright? Well, there you go. That should be... Well, now it's time for the final draft. Let me go ahead and quickly check these characters. Right. I think Claudio may just go to average. Or maybe I'll put him in the super strong tier. Because so after doing a few adjustments, I feel this is how the tier list should be looking like. Now I know tier list is something that not everyone agrees on, so feel free to comment down below. But just don't be toxic, alright? be respectful, and we could definitely have a conversation. All right. So there you go. That's the tier list post 1.05 patch. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel looking for Tekken 8 content, go ahead and subscribe. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.